Nothing like jury rigging a blade that's spinning at like 10,000 RPMs. Well, good afternoon, guys. Been working on trying to put in a bridge across the creek, and I was down there with the tractor messing around and not 100% sure that I want to do that right there. That's something, you know, plan C here. Pretty wicked looking metal blade on the weed eater. This is actually on my Echo weed eater, not on the big steel. It's a little underpowered for it, but once you get it, once you get it spinning, it's got a lot of centrifugal weight there. So we'll see, either we'll blow up my my Echo or it'll work great. We're gonna go whack some briars across the creek there and see how we do. Kind of a ghetto setup on here. It's actually a steel one, and it's not the right steel one for our steel. It's actually for a bigger model. So it's this big heavy head. Never fit right on the on the other one. Had trouble getting it balanced, and it was a little bit bigger than that. I put some bushings in here, and I've got like a spring washer that kind of wrapped around our nut here. Our nut is like a well nut that goes down inside there. Seems to be centered, seems to be running good, so we're gonna go with it and see what happens. Well, I've only got a couple hours left in the day before it gets dark, so going light, weed whacker, and some gas. Oh, you know, a little barbed wire to the crotch, that's always a good day. Well, this blade actually appears to be working fantastically. I'm mowing through these briars, and it's not even thinking twice about it. So great blade on there. This might actually make this manageable with just some weed eaters. So we'll keep chipping away at it, and I'll keep you guys updated. Well, this blade's working well, even in the, I'll call it, old growth briars. The real thick, woody, heavy stuff, it's working pretty well in as well. Just got to get spooling up a little bit, crank in and get the weight of that blade spinning, and then kind of feather it down into that stuff, and it just rips through it. So I'm pleased with this blade. If you're wondering if that works well or not, just ran out of gas, first tank, and I've cleared probably a 35-40 foot wide swath by maybe 75 foot long on one tank. With a string trimmer, that would have been about 4 tanks and a half a roll of string. Able to do in a very short time what a string trimmer just can't do on its own. So very happy with that. I'm making massive headway through these briars. All right, guys, I'm out of gas. I got a patch behind me, small patch left to do, but I'm out of gas. I got all this over here done. Everything that's big and tall, I got 50 by 25 section left to do of the real tall stuff, and the rest of the stuff's all pretty easy. But I'm pooped. It is 9 o'clock, sun's going down, and I'm beat, so we'll catch y'all another day. Have a good night.
So how did he go? Oh, look at that. The dark spots are sled, huh?
It went really well. That worked awesome. But I am a little bit sweaty and stinky.
Good job on your hard work, though.
Well, getting home from work, looks like Dee Dee's out doing some mowing. We have some poison oak patches that we've been taking care of, trying to get those kind of sorted out. So we've been letting the grass grow up a little bit so we can see what's what and kind of try and isolate and take out some of that poison oak. So it looks like Dee Dee's out mowing today. When I got home there, we'll go see what she's up to. Alright, I stole the tractor and I'm heading over across the creek. We're going to go do some weed eating and see if we can make a little more headway into those briars. Alright, a couple more hours, got through the rest of the big briars. We've got one more patch down there somewhere. It's pretty tall. Other than that, smaller briars and grass, so making good headway. Well, I got Dee Dee down here helping me today. She's getting started over there. See if we can get some more headway down here. I think I need to wash my face shield. Well, this is stolen off the head of our weed eater, and we actually jury-rigged it a little bit to get it to kind of center and hold that big blade on there. Well, the washer basically that I used to kind of center it and hold it, after using it for hours and hours, finally failed and almost welded itself to this. No big deal. We're gonna use something else to fix that. So this is an axle cone nut for a semi-truck. Alright, we've got the axle cone here, which as this blade sits on it, as we tighten it down, it'll actually sink down into it. That gap will close. And then we'll do a washer on top of that and our lock nut. We'll give it a try, see if it'll stay centered. If it will, then we'll go use it a little bit. Well, it seems to work. Nothing like jury rigging a blade that's spinning at like 10,000 RPMs. I feel pretty good about it. It seems pretty steady, so let's go put some chaps on for protection, and we'll go mow some more. Well, my axle cone that I put on there is not working too well, so here's why I wasn't worried about this thing coming loose and flying off, is because when it would lose bite on the nut there, it just starts kind of freewheeling there without any power. So, in case you were worried about me putting that through my leg, that's why I wasn't worried. All right, I'm gonna see if I can get this head back off, and I got another plan B here. All right, I think I got the weed eater head fixed. It looks a little more stable. Had a sleeve that I put in there and turned this nut around the other way, and it feels pretty stinking solid. So give it a go, and that will tell, I guess. Well, good morning, guys. Gonna leave you hanging there with the video from across the creek. Where you going now, Phil? This is Finley. He's in need of some love this morning, so he's gonna join us, I think, for maybe a second. You never know with a cat. So I'm gonna leave you hanging there with what's been going on across the creek. We got all the blackberries mowed down, and we've got a bunch of the brush and stuff mowed down to the creek in a few spots. So feeling pretty good about where it's at right now.
we're going to go ahead and move on to other projects. We're working on some raised beds at the moment, which you'll see in a couple upcoming videos. So a few notes on the metal blade for the weed eater. It finally did come off. I ended up losing the threads on my little nut that was holding it on, and it spun off, and it went maybe cartwheeled maybe 6 feet. It just kind of did a little spin and dropped. There wasn't really any velocity behind it when it came off. But we're moving on now to bigger and better projects, working in the garden, getting that going. So that's become a priority, and across the creek can wait till another day. We've got it mowed down now to where we can just go and hit it real quick. It'll be pretty simple to keep that maintained as long as we stay on it and keep those briars that are trying to poke back up mowed down. The grass should start to overtake pretty quick. So feeling pretty good about that project, and it's going to sit where it's at for a little bit while we move on to other stuff. So, thanks for coming along, guys. Take care.